magic in me.
It's 16 minutes away from 9. Welcome back to Paul Henry. Hillary Clinton has said it. America needs its first female president. But why? If feminism has come so far, does she feel the need to highlight the fact that she's a woman? Shouldn't she be selling herself on the fact she is the best person, the right person for the job, no matter what her sex? Other high-profile females have fallen into the same trap recently. Helen Clark has talked of her desire to become the first woman at the helm of the UN, not her desire to do the best job she can as the Secretary General. So don't these high-profile women realise that feminism has actually come further than they have? Or has it? New Zealand Initiative researcher Khyaati Acharya has been looking into the feminist campaigns around the world and joins us now. Khyaati, good morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Paul. It's good to be here.
Is it that these women don't actually realise that feminism has moved on, and the whole idea of feminism working properly is that they get the job irrespective of their sex because they're the best at doing it?
I totally agree. I think that Hillary and Helen are shortchanging themselves by qualifying that they're the best suited for the job because they're a woman. I think that she's a strong contender for the presidential elections because she's had a long enough and successful enough career to prove her competency, to prove that she's got the unique set of skills that make her effective at the job, or make her potentially effective at the job.
And if Hillary Clinton becomes the President of the United States of America because she's a woman, that actually is the opposite to feminism working, isn't it? I mean, if she becomes the President because she's the best person for the job and she just happens to be a woman, that is equality.
I would agree. I think that's just going in the opposite direction of what we really want to espouse, and I think she needs to be there because she really thinks she can do the job well. I don't think it should be because she's a woman. I think that's insulting and ridiculous in this modern age, and it's insulting to the rest of us. We shouldn't be put in these jobs just because of our gender.
You've looked at a lot of feminist campaigns recently. How do you think they rate? Do you think there's an acknowledgement that actually in the Western world we have moved, we have advanced, maybe not 100% of the way by any means, but that we have advanced?
I think there needs to be more of an acknowledgement in how far we really have advanced. Let's be less modest about the very real gains we've made in the modern world for advancing the rights of females. Let's acknowledge that women now hold some of the most powerful positions in the corporate and government, and in the corporate world and at the government level. The Economist produced a glass ceiling index which ranked New Zealand as one of the best places to work if you're a female. Let's acknowledge this. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And I mean, in this business here, it would have only been a few years ago. Actually, Hillary, you would agree with this. It would have only been a few years ago that the executive producer would have been a male. Currently, I mean, our executive producer is a female. The director would have been a male. Our director is a female. Up until very recently, the CEO of this company was a female. So we have moved a long way. Khyaati, do we need to acknowledge that there is still further to go? And how do you do that without discrediting what we've already achieved?
I think that's a really good point to be made, Paul. Now, there are still gains to be made. That goes without saying. But I think that modern feminism, as it stands currently, is risking and undermining its longer-term goals if we give media attention to the more ridiculous campaigns like #KillAllMen or ban the man spread on public transport, or focusing overly on political correctness in writing, and whether we're using the right pronouns, when we should be focusing on maybe making sure there are the complementary structures in place that help women overcome the barriers that there might be for going back into the workforce. So are there childcare options for women who work shift work?
So these campaigns you're talking about quite often do women a disservice. In fact, do us all a disservice.
I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. It's belittling to be campaigning for changes in Instagram etiquette when you've got women in other parts of the world who don't have access to basic education, or they don't have. Then they're prohibited from participating in the political decision making, which could realistically improve this situation.
Yeah, and that actually, and I wanted to get onto this. This is how I wanted to end it, because some of this behaviour is genuinely offensive to women who are truly and horrifically oppressed in other parts of the world.
It really, really is.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Khyaati, thank you so much for joining us there. That's Khyaati Acharya from the New Zealand Initiative Research Assistant there at the New Zealand Initiative.